Good evening, everyone. It is March 26th, that it's a Wednesday, and we're here to do another Jesus Short. And I'm sorry I forgot to do the hide, so I'm going to have to read this whole long thing at one shot. Obedience to the will of God versus forcing my will. So he left the oxen and ran after Elijah, saying, let me please, now this is Elisha talking, let me please kiss my father and my mother, and then I will follow you. Come back, he said to him, for what have I done to you? So he returned from following him and took the pair of oxen and sacrificed them and boiled their flesh with the oxen's yoke gear. Meaning that he used the yoke to start the fire and to burn and to cook the oxen on it. And gave it to people, and they ate it. Then he arose and went after Elijah and became his attendant. Now Elisha had 24 oxen and 12 yoke, very wealthy. But he used it all, burned it all, and cooked a meal for his whole town. Why? We'll get to it in a second. Going a little further, he threw himself down with his face to the ground and prayed, my Father, if possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not my will, but what you will. This is Jesus. He's saying, I want to do your will, but if it is possible, I would just soon not be crucified. But if it's your will, let it be done. Elisha was being obedient also. Obedience to the will of God versus forcing my will. Ecclesiastes 7:20. There is not a righteous man on the earth who continually does good and who never sins. Now we look back, you look at when Elisha, he burned everything he had and cooked the meat. He could never go back to farming. Just like Mary Magdalene, when she anointed Jesus' head with oil, it was spikenard, and it was so expensive, only the most expensive prostitutes could afford it. Well, she didn't just dump all the oil out, it was a year's worth of wages. She also broke the jar, so she had nowhere to put any more. Those two people were all in. You know, I don't play poker, but I know that's a phrase in 21. They were all in. There was no going back. And that, to me, that's the ultimate. With Jesus saying, go ahead, I'm going to be crucified. He was all in. Galatians 5:17, for the flesh sets its desire against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. For these are in opposition to one another, so that you may not do the things that you please. Once we give our life to Christ, it's no longer our will, it's His. We need to recognize that. We can't just be arrogant and try and steal thunder and say, okay, well, I'm not saying you can't. If you like to fish, every now and then go fishing. If you like to hunt, every now and then go hunting. There's nothing wrong with that. But that doesn't mean that every weekend you go hunting and fishing and you never do the will of God, because you're not all in then. Not even close. Genesis 6:5. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that every intent of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. Now this page was in contradiction to the page before it, where all the things that were done were God's will. This one is talking about, okay, this is my will. Just showing the contradiction between what I want and what He wants. If you're watching this on StreetlightGR.com Facebook or YouTube at Streetlight Bible Study 4006, please share it. There's a whole lot of people that are lost. I'd appreciate it. And so would they. They may not initially, but eventually. Be blessed and always be a blessing to others.